tonight's driving change. At this point, most of us get to where we're going in the blink of an eye. Driving is part of our DNA, but at some point or another, it may be time for us to hang up the keys. That's why tonight we're starting a discussion on driving retirement.
We found it through my husband's neurologist.
Suzanne Krause's husband has had some issues in the past year due to health problems and took some precautions when it came to driving.
I had been noticing his inability to find places when he was driving and listening to the left.
With a referral from his doctor and to find out if it was safe for him on the roads, he enrolled in the Fitness to Drive program at Health Promotion Partners. It's the only certified driver rehabilitation specialist in the area. Their occupational therapists take an objective, in-depth look into whether someone is still fit to drive, using all kinds of cognitive and skills tests and a driving test, of course.
I think it's a huge peace of mind for the family members, kind of in either direction of like, I thought Dad was doing fine, but this really confirms that. Or on the flip side, this confirms what they were thinking.
They say on average about 15 to 20% don't pass the class. That information goes to their doctor, who would make a recommendation to the DMV that they lose their license. Others may just get certain restrictions, while others are good to go.
We have people come in and they're very upset and they're very worried and they're very defensive, and they say, "Are you going to take my license away today?" And so one of the things we like to start with is just to say to them, that will not happen today. I am not authorized to take your license.
Results are not age specific. It all depends on the individual.
We have seen people in their 60s that are not safe to drive and in their 90s who are perfectly safe to drive.
But they say at one point or another, it's likely you or someone you know will need to give up the keys. Current research shows men are outliving their ability to drive by 6 years, women by 10 years. So how do you know if your loved one should give up the keys? Some red flags are, would you ride as a passenger in their car or let your child walk around their car every once in a while? Are there unexplained dings or dents? Does a half-hour trip to the store end up taking your loved one more than 2 hours? And there are some questions you can ask yourself as well.
When you're out on the road, is everybody around you going too fast? Are people honking at you? Are people getting impatient with you? Oftentimes we will have clients come in and say, I drive just fine. It's everybody else. Everybody else is crazy. Everybody else is a horrible driver. Everybody else is driving way too fast. That is often a sign to us that something is going on in their perception.
Driving gives us independence, so losing the keys is not easy. That's why it's important to make a plan to retire from driving. Start trying out ride shares or the bus. Make plans with family or friends to take you to the store or church. It does not have to be isolating, and there can be some cost savings too.
You might be surprised. You could ride share all year long, and it might not be as expensive as owning your own car.
For Suzanne, her husband did end up giving up his license. He didn't want to talk with us on camera, but she was happy to share their story and encourage others.
They actually brought him home that last session rather than letting him drive home. So I knew it was really significant, and I think he did too. I think the best part for both of us was that it was somebody independent telling us that he couldn't drive. He knew that I had concerns.
They've been making adjustments.
He's been able to use an Uber, so he goes to the Y, and if I can't take him, he'll take an Uber over there. So there's lots more options out there for transportation.
She says they both feel safer now for themselves and others.
Step up and face your challenges and adapt to them and live life to the fullest.
And they're doing that just a little differently now. And one thing they also mentioned to us, if you do have a loved one who can't drive, try to keep things spontaneous. Maybe surprise them, take them to the park on a really nice day or go to the movies. Don't let their lives revolve around a schedule depending on others to get places. And there are a lot of resources for talking with your loved ones about driving, and you can find other certified specialists out of state if your parents or loved one don't live here in Colorado. We have all those links for you to those resources, plus more information on the cost of this service and the online version of this story. It's at koaa.com/drivingchange. And just a note, in these tough times that we're in right now, don't forget to check on your neighbors who may not be able to get around so easily. See if you can drop off some necessities to their door to help out.